The Java tutorial. I noticed that YouTube has been messing around with my aspect ratio and the screen and quality isn't that great, but hopefully with this video I've changed a few things around and it'll be a bit better. So in the last video we looked at data types in a bit more depth, and I told you that first number plus second number equaled third number, and you were like, okay, that's cool. And I said, well, third number is actually now 10. And you're like, well, what does that all mean? Remember, we were talking about how this is just a reference. It's like a bank. It's a reference to what's like a safety deposit box. It's the name of the safety deposit box, and what is inside is actually, depending on what's in front of it, is either a number or a character of the alphabet, or something's inside. For the sake of this tutorial, there's a whole number because we've written int in front of it, and that int is 5 plus 5, which is 10, and that's been assigned to third number. So in the safety deposit box named third number, there's a value of 10 inside. To test that, we're going to write something that we wrote in our very first Java tutorial, and I've already got it written there, but I'm going to do it again. It's system.out.println. Okay, so you're like, okay, what does that even mean? And I'll tell you right now. Okay, so in our tutorials, our very first tutorial, I said that programming is basically telling the computer what to do, and this is the same. You're like, okay, computer, I want to know what is in third number. The computer's like, okay, you can't just ask me, I'm really important, you need to put in a request. I'm like, okay, fine. So inside this bracket is where you put the request in. And the computer's like, whatever you want, just put it in there and I'll deal with it a bit later. You're like, okay, I want to know third number. So you whack it in there. And then you want to talk to the computer, but he's real busy. So he's like, secretary or whoever, who's a bit down the hierarchy to him, picks up the phone and says, okay, I'll pass on that message. My name's Printline, and my job is to print what you want and tell you what you want, but I need to get permission from like my supervisor, whose name's Out. And then, so he's like, okay, I'll get back to you. So then Out gets a phone call from Printline and says, yo, we have this task, can we do it? And then Out's like, well, I need to check with my boss. And that's system. So basically, this is a hierarchy, is what I'm trying to get at. And this is a way of communication to the computer. You can't just do this because the computer, you can't just do that because the computer is just too important. You can't just go straight to the system. Yeah, there's a few filters in between. And basically what this is, to put in another analogy, is if you have a folder called like my documents, and then inside that folder you have like photos, and then inside that document you have I don't know, wedding photos. It's sort of the same thing. Instead of putting these little arrows, you're putting a dot, because my documents is like the sort of the place that holds everything, just like system, and then inside that is a folder called photos, and then inside that is a place called wedding photos, and this is the same type of business. So system holds a function, and we'll talk about functions, but system holds a function inside of it called out, and then out holds a function inside of it called printline, and then that does the task. It's sort of like a department who does that's actually a very good way of putting it. It's like you have like a Toyota factory, car factory. You have like this is Toyota, like the big department in itself. This is like the wheel department, and this is like the what's below wheel? I don't know. The rubber department or something like that. So it sort of works, and they all perform their own tasks at each different level, and that's basically what that is. So if we hit run, that says 10, and that's exactly what we wanted before. We can do a few different things with this. We can also write, to make it make it look a bit better, we can put a little bit of quotes, and we can write something in here. This number displays what is in third number reference. And if we did something like that, and put that there, and add a plus sign to it, then that's going to make it look a little bit different. There it is. This number displays what is in third number reference, and that is 10. So we've said, okay, to make it a bit easier, I just want a little bit of a label on what's going on, but then tell me what's in third number. And that's basically it in terms of finding out what is in these variables. Thank you for watching, and in the next tutorial we'll look at loops. So see you then.